Nestle price has fallen below 100 ringgit for the first time since 2018.
I mean, it's a nice headline. It's clickbaitish. So I remember this quite clearly. So it went from 26. We thought it was a good company. We use it as a case study for financial numbers.
Yeah.
But the thing about Nestle is that fundamentally, you can say it's very sound. It pays dividends, got net profit and so on and so forth. But if you track the share price, it went 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, right? Then it hung there for a while, and then it went to 150 in a very short period of time, less than a year. One of the reasons was they were actually included in the FBM KLCI, our index. Now, well, because I still remember this, they have 234 million shares, and they've never changed since they were listed. They've kept it at that. So very small number of shares. And because the shareholding, 70% is actually owned by Nestle SA in Switzerland. So you only have a balance of 30%. And these kind of stocks that are $80, $100, $150, your average retail investor is not going to buy them. The average investor likes penny stocks, anything below 10 cents. So the sharp rise and fall can happen in a very short period of time because it's extremely thinly traded, right? So if you trade 5,000 shares, you jump it up 5 bits, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you look at the trading volume every day, probably 10,000 shares get traded. So if someone big wanted to exit or enter the stock, it would drive it up. If let's say I had 50,000 shares and I want to sell it all in one day, I will take the price.
So essentially, because it's like a T20 stock, like rich people can afford it. So basically, that makes it more volatile.
No,
It's not volatile.
It's not volatile.
It just depends on the liquidity of the share and it's more sensitive. I will use the more sensitive.
Okay.
Alvin Holdings is Nestle. He wouldn't want to sell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's not much a seller.
not many sellers, not many buyers.
So I wanted to buy Nestle, but there's no seller. So it's just a sensitivity.
Correct. It's just
share,
liquidity because
that's
it's a bid and ask system, right? So buyers will always want to buy lower. Sellers will always sell higher.
Yeah.
But if a seller needs money fast, he'll just hit the buyer,
He'll
right?
buy.
Basically, maybe the message is share price does not always equal to business performance all the time.
Yeah.
So just because share price came down doesn't mean that it correlates with the business
But
performance.
your belief is also for value investing is there is a true value. What you believe is the true value, and eventually sentiment will even out to reflect that
Over the
true
long term.
value.
Over the long term.
In the short term, you're going to get some price value divergence either way.
Yeah. And the price value divergence is where we can make our money.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching Borak Bursa. If you enjoyed what you saw, check out our full episodes in our link in bio.